What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bad Religion, and we're back with another tune from their Against the Grain album. And actually, this one was a request. Shout out to Ryan. He mentioned he wouldn't mind seeing a reaction to Entropy. And I've actually been reading about the second law of thermodynamics in a couple different articles recently, and basically talking about how, despite the fact that in a larger, like, cosmic sense, much of the original articulation of entropy still seems to hold, the idea that a minimization of entropy will automatically lead to greater productivity and efficiency is now sort of under question, and there have been recent studies which have thrown this into doubt, and ultimately this relates to the construction of plants for wind and solar power and so on, like clean renewable energy sources, and ultimately therefore it has real world, like, practical significance. So I'd be interested to see where some of these recent articles and their findings, how they might affect the way that energy supply and other types of human constructions may be affected. But on a general level, entropy basically refers to the way that in the physical chemical universe things tend toward disorder and toward a disordered equilibrium, which is to say that in localized areas and periods of time, order can be built up, but over enough time and without any other external inputs, ordered states will ultimately trend toward disorder and the equalization of disorder, and that's what's known as thermodynamic entropy. So, the idea is that on a long enough timeline, the universe will eventually get to a state where it will be fully uniform in that thermodynamic entropy, in that equilibrium, and therefore, like, no more work will be possible to be done. It really will be the end of everything, at least when it comes to, again, like, physical chemical matter, and also, antimatter and other related concepts which are technically outside the purview of the term matter. Nevertheless, this song is basically making the case that given these larger issues, like, you could talk to me about this cause or this movement or this law that's going into effect or whatever, man, but ultimately we're all subject to the whims of Boltzmann, who is one of the people who originally articulated the concept of thermodynamics and entropy specifically. And it's basically, there's a line even where it's not a human issue. So, I suppose there is a bit of, like, resignation, a bit of, slight pessimism in the song that, like, at the end of the day, we biological creatures, we try to build up these structures, we try to build up these organizations and these processes which are very elaborate and intricate and involved. But at the end of the day, that's all doomed. It's, to borrow a line from Fight Club, it's, polishing the brass in the Titanic. It's all going down. So I think that's where the song's basically going, that, we sentient, and in our case sapient beings, try to build up these systems of complexity and interaction and activity, but at the end of the day and at the end of the universe, there simply will be no more possibility for any of that, and there's nothing that any biological creatures, certainly of our scale and with our understandings and abilities, could possibly do about it. So yeah, as I said, there's a bit of resignation to the song, but I really do love it musically. It's another one from this era. I mentioned it, Suffer, No Control, Against the Grain. I literally don't think there's a single song on any of those three albums that's not rocking and just having it. So that's what we're dealing with here. Here we go. This is Bad Religion, Entropy, on their album Against the Grain, 1991.
Disregard order, states of nature on a scale which no one thinks about. Don't speak to me of anarchy or peace or government movement. You're not playing a slow decay orchestrated by Boltzmann.
Slow decay orchestrated by Boltzmann. Now, he didn't orchestrate it. He just sort of like, oh, I think this is the case. But yeah. Your pathetic moans of suffering tend to lose all significance.
Extinction, degradation, the natural outcome of our ordered lives. Power, motivation, temporary fixes for which we strive. Something in us is a
assures us we're okay, but in our disequilibrium we simply cannot stay. This ordered, complex state, it's ephemeral, it's fleeting, it's brief. I guess there is a carpe diem in the song too, right? You cannot divorce. I like how he holds that one right into the next one. Amazing. The guitar work there makes me want to listen to God's Song. It feels like, does that go right into God's Song? I feel like there's something linking. No, it's against the grain. Then I was thinking Operation Rescue, God's Song. It's one of those things where you listen to an album enough times, like as an album, and you begin to get a sense of the progression of the songs. The ending of one makes you think of the next one, or in this case, the next couple. But yeah, I knew God's Song and Operation Rescue were not too long after that one. Yeah, so I really do enjoy that. As I said, it's the concept that's been sort of percolating in my brain recently. Again, I don't work in renewable energy or energy supply. However, I have recently I spent over a year editing a manuscript about energy production, climate change, the related politics, and this is like on an international level. It's a really great book written by a Finnish author, and I spent a long time editing it and learned a lot myself in the process. So I've been thinking about these issues recently, so when Ryan shouted that tune out, I was like, oh my god, what a perfect time to react to this. So big ups to Ryan. Really appreciate you watching the videos and commenting. You are a champion. And again, if anyone else has any more Bad Religion reactions, do not hesitate to ask. I literally have every album except for, well, I don't have two of it, because Back to the Known I don't have, but I think a lot of that is on 8085, and I do have 2 copies of 8085, and I don't have Into the Unknown, that sort of progressive rock, keyboard heavy album they did, though again, I don't hate on that. I've heard some of it, I respect it, I like that they tried something new. It's fine that, they didn't keep doing that. I like that they continued making the music that would then become Suffer and No Control and Against the Grain and so on. But yeah, I don't hate on any of their stuff. But regardless, those 2 albums aside, I think I do have everything they've done. So if there's another Bad Religion tune that someone wants to hear, please don't hesitate to shout it out. It's one of my favorite bands of all time. I mentioned it before. Multiple people in the band I consider to be very interesting human beings, especially Greg Graffin. So yeah, I'll never tire of talking about or listening to Bad Religion. So anyway, I hope you're here for it. Thank you for listening and watching. I do appreciate it. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.